if there's one infinite, like all-encompassing truth that applies to everything, it's that helping yourself only is wrong and helping others is good. Period.
That was a hoot!
What is poppin', everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Raucous Modern Life podcast, a lifestyle show which features conversations with some of the most interesting and inspiring young adults living here in the Philippines. The purpose of this show is to educate the listeners and myself about different hot topics in Filipino society and culture while providing quality kalokohan. Let's get to it. What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Raucous Modern Life podcast. In today's show, I am joined by the scrappiest of dudes. They are founders of the Verne Energy Solutions, a systems integrator company that specializes in sustainable and renewable energy management. They are hosts of the Scrapyard podcast, a podcast which features guests much like this one, and talk about everything and nothing at the same time. And they are just two brothers who love to have good conversation. It is my pleasure to introduce you guys to the scrappiest of boys, Johnny Altamonte and Marcos Suarez. What's up, dudes? Thank you for being on the show.
Hey, everyone.
Hey,
Thanks for having us, buddy.
happy to be here,
Thanks,
buddy.
Rocks.
Of course,
Cheers.
man.
Yeah, man.
I love your pod. You guys are one of the reasons why I wanted to start the pod as well. You know,
That is so good vibes. That's exactly how we started. That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, super. Straight up from Clau and Mark and the No One's Homies podcast. It's literally our origin story.
of course, man. I mean, all of us Pinoy podcasters. It's a small field, but it's growing. I think a lot of people are starting different Filipino podcasts, and it's great. Like, it's cool how the community can, do projects together and kind of tie up, much like this one.
Yeah, for sure. And there's no better time than right now when everyone's stuck at home.
That's true. You're forced to listen to us,
Yeah, you have no choice. Like
Like if we
enjoy
send you
our
a link,
banter.
you can't say anything.
How dare you? Like, what else are you gonna do? Watch another movie on Netflix? I watch them all. Like, go for it. Nice try.
Yeah, joke's on you. Honestly, I mean, you can only watch so much Netflix, and it's always good to be consuming media, even when you're doing other things
course.
like
Of
cleaning the
course.
house and all that stuff. But yeah, thank you again for being on the show. So let's start the pod as I always do by asking the question to my guests: What's poppin'? So, boys, what's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
What's it called? I've been watching Hunter x Hunter because everyone says it's like the best shonen out there. And
Excellent.
it's so good.
Yes.
It's so good. It makes so much sense. Do you watch that stuff? Do you like anime?
I do fuck with anime, but haven't been watching so
awesome.
much as of late. But yeah,
See, the problem with shonen, my bad. The problem with shonen is there's so many episodes in one series. You have to kind of commit to one, and once you're in it, like 100 episodes deep, you hear about how there are other better ones, and you just can't start from scratch. But it's COVID time, and now I do have the time to watch multiple shonen, and Hunter x Hunter is meeting all my expectations and breaking them too. It's awesome. Get around it.
damn,
I'm
living
so
up to the
happy.
hype.
I'm so happy.
Why did you recommend
Yeah,
that
man.
to
Hunter x
Marco,
Hunter's
Johnny?
fucking shit.
Yeah, John, why are you so happy?
Well, as Mark said, like earlier on, like pre-COVID days, if you watched one shonen, that was it. That was your shonen. You can't watch Naruto and Bleach. Makes no sense.
Impossible.
So-
Impossible.
My one shonen was Hunter x Hunter, and it was fucking wild. It was just so good. So whenever Mark talked shit about like Naruto being sick and whatever, I'm like, it's okay, but it's no Hunter x Hunter. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's just honestly super super sick. It's super hype. Like I use some episodes to like pump myself up for workouts and shit. It's legit.
It's like your pre-workout,
Intense.
some Hunter X workout, Hunter
Yeah,
X
man.
Hunter before a power lift.
Yeah, dude. Swear to God.
And their universe building is fucking phenomenal. Their power. What's your favorite anime, bro?
Me, well, I'm kind of a anime noob. Probably still stick to like the English animes like Avatar: The
For
Last
sure, for
Airbender
sure.
or Pokemon. But
Avatar: The Last Airbender is phenomenal, by the way. You picked
Yeah.
a phenomenal choice.
it's the best.
Yep.
I mean,
I
like,
agree.
the moral stories and the action. But Justin actually showed me one of the animes that I enjoyed. It was like, I turned into a blob. Have you guys seen that one?
I have heard of
Oh,
that one. I've heard really
the
good things
slime?
about
The
it.
slime, yeah. At that time, I turned into a slime.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hilarious, dude. But it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
super cool. Like, and the story progresses
Yeah.
a lot. I haven't finished it yet, but super enjoyed that.
See, that's why anime is so
Yeah.
fantastic. It can run with a single plot point that doesn't make any sense, and it's fucking phenomenal all the way through. Like One Punch Man. Like you'd think it'd be boring as hell, but they get 20 episodes deep, and you still think it's so funny and so smart.
Yeah, dude, it's super good. And I mean, these Japanese, man, they're just like an alpha creature. They're like not even human. Everything they produce is fucking phenomenal.
That's true.
And colorful and really
I'm with
wacky
you there,
out there.
100%.
Like, have you seen their game shows? The one with the giant boulder they have to
I
run
love
through the
Japanese
corridors
game
with?
shows.
They're so good.
They're
They're so good.
Yeah, one of my favorite game shows is the one where they kind of have to strike a pose and fit like the silhouette cut out.
In the maze thing.
It's
Dude,
so
that
good.
one's so good.
Yeah.
It's so
This is
good.
one time there was like this super fat chick, and then the cutout came out, and it was literally just like a bar, like a vertical bar, and she was like, "There's no way I'm gonna fit into this." And then she was like tried all these different poses, and like everybody knew like this is not gonna work out.
It's kind of cool
Oh,
that they're
man.
intrinsically game changers. Like even they're like, have you heard the reality show Terrace House?
Oh yeah, I love Terrace House.
Bro, that's me
Hawaii.
too, man. And it kind of it flips reality shows on its head. Instead of being ultra out there, it's ultra in there.
there.
And then you saw, you know what I mean? Like the first episode I saw was they spent the first 10 minutes of the 20-minute episode talking about a pool that they all noticed outside. Like every time someone would come in, they'd be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? What's your name? Did you know we have a pool?" Oh my god!
Is this the
5 different times. 5
Hawaii,
different times, bro.
the Hawaii series?
It's the Hawaii one. It's
Yeah,
the
I
Hawaii.
love
And
that
I'm
with
pretty
Lauren
sure
Chai.
it's so good. So good. So good.
So good. And
And I should give it a watch.
dude, you should, man. And I think it's
Bro.
like great content because you also learn so much about like Japanese culture, like their social dynamics and stuff. It's so different
True.
from like American like TV series and Filipino TV series, that's for sure.
Do you remember the guy that used to get his sword and then
Oh.
like hit the air outside whenever he was
Yeah.
pissed off?
Yeah.
It was so good. This guy's so amazing.
Yeah. And it's funny because he's like an actor pa. So he's like a good looking dude. You think like you know, he like work out like to release some stress, but nah. What he does is he goes outside and swings his wooden sword.
He's like
The
a
chicks.
guy that used to watch so much anime grow up and thought real life was really like that. Like, I swear to God, dude. You don't see that anywhere fucking else, man. So funny.
Dude. Johnny, you
Damn, yeah, I'm
definitely gotta
sold.
give that a
All right,
try.
I'll give it a watch. Yeah, just for that guy. Just for that guy. I want to support whatever he's doing.
You like his
Yeah,
intentions.
I'll give it a watch.
I heard it's
Yeah, man,
fake
he's a good
though.
dude. He's a good dude.
I heard
Yeah.
it's fake. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm
is it
saying.
scripted?
I'm pretty sure it's a little
Oh,
scripted.
man.
At least like with
Yeah.
some of the events that goes on. It's like they kind of gotta have a flow as well. And they're all actors. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's kind of
Yeah.
scripted.
Oh, are
I,
they?
I
Oh,
met
then
someone
for
at a
sure.
bar that like went to school with one of the Terrace House people, like high school or college, or is in their friend, and that's what they told them too. That it was like because it's so in there, they have to like really, what's it called? Minuscule mitigate the drama because it has to match the tone of the entire show.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I mean,
you can't have
that
someone
makes
like
sense.
blow someone in the fucking bathroom and be like, "That's not Terrace Housey." That's
no,
not Terrace
no,
House.
sir.
Like last week's problem was someone forgot to like buy groceries and now someone's blowing someone in the bathroom. No, absolutely not.
No can
Which
do.
is like, it's still fun, but like, damn, sayang. It always hurts when you hear it's not fucking real.
Yeah, for sure. Just like WWE, heartbreaking.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but you know,
I don't know what
they
you're talking
crossed
about.
some
That
real
shit's real.
lines. You know, what I mean? Even as a 12-year-old, you're kind of like, I don't know if Kane really
That's
raped
too much.
Lita. I feel like that's a police issue. like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
12. Like I don't think this is cool.
Yeah, or when Edge literally had sex in front of a crowd. Do you remember
Right,
that?
Edge,
I did.
Where Edge
did-
literally
with
had
also
sex.
Lita, with also Lita.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still Lita. Yeah.
It's always this chick. Damn it.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was real. That wasn't scripted.
100%. What about you, Johnny? What's been popping with you?
With me, honestly, I'll be real. I haven't been consuming much media lately. I've been obsessed with my garden. That's all. Like almost all my free time is spent in my garden, like planting, or actually, if I do watch stuff, it's plant videos. So man, there's a ton of plant video. Like every night, it's just a different botanical garden walkthrough on YouTube. Ooh, man, it's whack. So yeah, I've just been doing a lot of gardening, and that
For
takes
those
like
of
3 hours of my day, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you got a shit ton of plants. For those of the
Yeah.
listeners that don't know like what you do, like what is it exactly that you're trying to do with your garden? And you can plug in greens and memes as well.
Oh, that shout out. Yes, I will. So I do have a plant shop now on Instagram. It's called Greens and Memes. It's more of a meme account, honestly, than a plant store at this point. Like half the stuff there, I don't think it's like even for sale anymore. But yeah, so what I'm trying to do is basically um the Philippines is just wild when it comes to botany. We have like 1,000,001 different species. All of them are really cool. A lot of them are endangered.
Hmm.
So ideally, what I want to do is I want to take a lot of these, whether they're native trees, whether they're rat plants that are endangered, I want to cultivate them in my garden, propagate as much as I can, and eventually try to rewild certain areas. So introduce them back into their native habitats and try and get them more prolific in the wild. That's my eventual goal. But it's always fun to have memes on the side too.
Yeah, I mean that's a dope goal because the Philippines really is like one of the most biodiverse countries in the world, and it's really such a shame that these plants and animals aren't getting enough credit. But yeah, it's cool also how you're doing it through like a meme way so that you can kind of interact with the people that aren't so into plants as much. Like myself, like I learned so much from your your Instagram account, and it's great that you put some quality memes. Though I must ask, like, do you got like some murder tendencies or something? It's like always buy this plant or I'm gonna kill you. And what is it with you and aggressive grandmas?
No, well, that ain't me, man. That's just it's what the customers want. No, but yeah, I was honestly just looking at a list of funny memes. Like, I literally just pulled up a meme list. I was just looking at different images, and that one made me laugh out loud. That's the first. I was like, the first one that makes me laugh out loud. I'll use as my meme, and that was the first one that did. I was like, it's just this grandma holding up a pistol. And I was like, that's great. And that was basically it. Then I went off on that for a bit. So there was like a little streak where it was just different things holding guns and telling people to buy this plant. But yeah, that's pretty good. I also do want to, while I'm here, actually, I do want to plug the Philippine Taxonomic Initiative, which is an NGO that I recently just became affiliated with.
Hey.
So what they do is they basically just go on expeditions to different like areas of the Philippines and either do biodiversity assessments, so they check what's there, or they try and discover new species, which is like has literally been a life dream of mine. Just to go out to the great unknown, find new things no one has ever seen before. Well, not discover, because people know they're there, but like describe scientifically. That dream come true. So now affiliated with them. Hopefully by the time pandemic drops down, we get to go on some expeditions, and I get to name some plants after memes or something. That'd be great.
That would be
Pretty
great.
hilarious, man.
And maybe
By the
one
way,
day.
I was
Okay, go
sorry
ahead.
guys. I was what's it called? I was talking to my friend yesterday, and then he was talking about plant care and plant something because he wanted to do it also. And I thought of you, John. I was like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if for your branding, because it's also like in line with your memes, when you sell plants, you can have like a little like stats of the plant, like needs 5 water drops, needs 3 sunlight, needs something something, and like you can even make it like Pokemon-y,
That's
like
sick.
offense 3, a defense 5,
Ooh,
like a Venus flytrap sort of thing.
that's
Because
sick.
he was talking about how, yeah, right. Sorry, I thought of you. I just forgot to tell you. Because his problem was plants don't get taken care of the way they should. So I was like, why don't you just add cards that say what they need? And I thought like you can make it in like a fun way. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
That is definitely a fun way. My current way
I'm
is
a
the boring
branding
way. I have a
genius. I'm a
spreadsheet with.
branding genius. No, this
Yeah,
is who I am.
Somebody hire
This is my
Marco now.
unofficial
yeah,
job.
it's pretty
Someone
good.
give me a job right now. I'm
Yeah.
so poor, guys. Like I am playing online poker for the single digit pesos, baby. Like, shit, bro.
You
But
should get
yeah, like I
into
Are you
thought.
still about that poker life?
No, I had to calm down. I had to chill myself out.
Dude,
Oh my goodness.
Justin actually just showed me this new online gambling thing, and it's literally online sabungan. So they live stream sabong, the cockfights, and then you can like straight up
Chickens,
place
yeah.
bets into it. And I think Dubs won like 500 pesos the other night.
Live
Oh, that's sick.
sabong. What's it called? Please. I'll watch that later. That's
Dubs,
fucking
unmute.
hilarious.
Tell the boys what it's called.
My friend just sent it to me. He's like, he owns it or some shit, and then he's like, "Dude, sign up." I was like, "Okay." And then you need 100 pesos to like, watch or play. So I started with 100 pesos. So I was like, kind of curious, like, oh, how does this work? And then like at the end of after 2 days, my 100 became like 700 pesos. So I was like, oh shit,
Fuck.
700
Wild
pesos.
and
But then
fuck.
like I got kind of greedy and I lost all of it.
That's the
That-
game, baby.
that's
Welcome
how
to
it goes.
gambling.
I can send
Who
you the
doesn't
link
have that
for everyone
story? You know
to
what I
try it
mean?
out.
If I had what's it called, a peso for every time someone was like, I was up this much, and then like, that
I
would be
lost
like
it all.
every gambling story ever, bro. So funny. So
You love to
funny.
hate it and you hate to love it, my man.
That's true. But yeah, that's fucking sick. Your friend's a genius, by the way. I just want to know though, how did he live stream it? Because like my idea was you strap a GoPro onto the neck of the chicken.
Oh my god. That's like
First
No, bro.
person.
No.
That's
Basically,
hilarious,
it's
bro.
like you're watching TV and then they stream like 24 hours a day. They start at like 9 a.m. until 6:30 a.m. There's like 250 chicken fights, and then you can bet on every fight. Like,
It'd be
Oh
so
my
funny if
They're
like
there,
as
like,
the
the
as the
payout.
later it got, the chickens got like more scantily clad because like it wasn't like a bra and panty, and you're like, yeah, welcome to the 3 a.m. show. This
Gets
is
a lot
what it's
more
like
skanky.
here, bro. Exactly. Skinemax for chickens. You know what I mean? So
they
fucking
like
funny.
stream it in Batangas, so I guess it's pretty safe. It's far.
the late night sabang show.
Late
Yeah.
night sub.
All right,
That's
so
so sick.
people about that.
let's get into the meat of the show now by starting off with our first segment, which is Verne Energy Solutions. So I guess I wanted to start off first by asking you guys, what is your relationship story and how did Verne start?
All right. So before we get into the bullet, I think Marco, you can tell that story. You're pretty
How
good
we
at telling
met?
it.
How we met?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Absolutely incredible. All right, picture us 7, 8 years old, basketball camp in Alabama. I am a dominant force of nature. Everyone knows it. That's a sidebar. It has nothing to do with anything. Johnny is partnered with my little brother Kobe. Kobe, the rascal that he is very upset at Johnny because Johnny's not giving him the rock. Johnny was on fire that day, so it's not his fault. At one point,
Shoot or
Johnny
shoot.
makes his patent sky hook. Kobe turns to him, his own teammate, and says, "You go to hell."
Whoa. And that was like, go fuck yourself.
Being 7, 8 years old, Johnny quit basketball that day. I never saw him. Never saw him until 8 years later in college, where he hated the Suarez clan entirely because of what Kobe had done to him. And we played Dota. We kicked him out of the game. His friends did, not me. Johnny punched me in the arm, and when he needed a ride home, I let him borrow my car. We've been best friends ever since. Been a good vibe.
Yeah, that was a nice little concise version. Fuck
Yeah,
Kobe, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, dude. The hatred's not. It's not over. The vendetta's still there.
Oh,
You haven't gotten
He's
your
gonna get
vengeance
it.
yet?
No, I will. And it's going to be glorious. I'm saving it for his wedding day. And that's when everything will come to a head. When the priest asks for any objections, one man in the back stands up. You go to hell, Kobe Suarez. And then I'll fucking get him. I'll fucking get him good.
Fucking incredible.
But yeah, that's how I started baseball, by the way.
Oh.
Really?
I quit basketball to play baseball. So it ended up pretty okay.
Yeah, things even out.
Not so much for your shoulders, though.
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
Low blow,
Yeah,
low
no.
blow.
That is a lifelong disability. Yeah, it's not great for my shoulders. Definitely not great for my shoulders. But yeah, so that's our relation story. But just I guess this is some sort of market validation. it's pronounced Verne.
Oh
Energy
shit, my
solution.
bad.
So,
Verne.
dude, no
Sorry, the
worries.
Pinoy in
No
me came
worries.
out. Verne.
Berne.
Verne.
You want
No,
some
I know.
Berne?
Verne.
Sabong tayo, Berne.
Which makes sense. Which makes sense. Like everywhere I've gone, people have been saying Verne, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we're called Verne after Jules Verne, the father of science fiction. Kind of like how Tesla is after like Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Verne is after Jules Verne, science fiction guy. Yeah. So sorry, I got lost in the story. Was I supposed to talk about Verne now? How
Yeah.
Verne
Yeah,
came
yes,
about?
you were. Yeah,
Go
tell
for it,
them,
man.
explain it to
All
us
right.
like we're children.
Yeah.
Oh, the little history story. So we did not start out as Verne Energy Solutions. That was actually a recent development where we had to switch names. So we were previously known as Green Bay Energy Solutions, and we were Green Bay for a good long while. It's been 2 years, 2.5 years. Wow, shucks, time flies. Yeah, 2.5 years now as Green Bay. And long story short, we had some previous partners at Green Bay. Didn't work out too well. Marco came along, caused a bit of a ruckus, and we parted ways. And it ended up being a lot easier to just set up a new, like legally, it's a lot easier to just set up a new company as Verne Energy Solutions than it was to keep Green Bay and transfer all the titles, do all the accounting work, sort out all that legal shit.
Yeah, all that
Legal
BIR
stuff is
shit.
Oh man, yeah, that's hard. That's hard. That's
pain.
like, man, oh yeah, and expensive too. Like those guys will milk you for all they're worth. So it actually ended up being cheaper to just completely set up a new company. So that's where we are. We're Verne Energy Solutions, and we do energy solutions, but we really focus on sustainable energy. So a little bit on what sustainable energy is. Man, explaining it to a 10-year-old is going to be a little tough. But if you've ever watched, oh man, I don't know. Have you watched Captain Planet, Rocka?
Of course, man.
Is that something you've...
Of course. I'm
All
a
right,
big
I'm
nature
happy to
guy
hear
as
it.
well. So I love Captain Planet.
Yes, I know you is. Awesome. Yeah, so basically the reason the climate crisis is happening, well, one of the biggest drivers of the climate crisis has been fossil fuels, and fossil fuels are basically energy taken from your hydrocarbon stored way in the ground, your oil, your coal, all these things. They produce a ton of energy. They've brought us to where we are. To all the technology, all the society, civilization as it is, was based on being able to burn and use all these old fuels. The thing is, when you use them, they pollute the air and contribute towards greenhouse gases, and they make the world a shittier place. So recently, the trend has been towards promoting what's called renewable energy. So energy that is, what's another word for renewable? It doesn't. The thing with fossil fuels is there's a limited amount in the world, right? So they don't just pollute, but there's a limited amount, and eventually will run out. Renewable energy, stuff that are we get power from, say, the sun through solar panels or the wind through your turbines.
Yeah, abundant.
These are
mediums.
things that don't ever run out. Yes, that's a good way of putting it. And the best part is they are not as pollutive. So they don't emit as much emissions, so they don't emit as much pollution as, say, your coal plants. And so that's really the basis of it, right? So these are like, it's part of that whole green movement where we're really trying to change the way everything is, right? Change the way the world works, and we're doing that through sustainable energy. Now, there's a difference between sustainable energy and renewable energy, and I think most people, like even literal professionals, right, don't even realize what's the difference. Sustainable energy can be split into two things. One of them is renewable energy, so where our energy comes from. So renewable energy, solar, your wind, all these kind of things. The other half of sustainable energy is energy efficiency, or how we use our energy. So one is where the power comes from, and the other half is how we use it. So for example, the world basically uses 30-40% more energy than it actually needs. And that's a huge amount, especially considering that most of that energy comes from coal, which is essentially killing the world.
Yeah, super wasteful.
Yeah, so Verne basically does sustainable energy solutions. So we do both aspects. So on the one hand, we do a bunch of solar stuff. We do other technologies. We started looking into waste to energy and wind, and we also do energy efficiency. So we help people, be wiser about how they use their energy. How people always say, like, turn off the lights when you leave the room. Dude, that shit really adds up now. Like, that is like the easiest thing you can do. Literally turning off the lights. Dude, you save like how many tons of carbon from the air a year. It's pretty wild. So, if everybody just flips off their life like they've been told for the past 20 years, we'd be in a better spot. Yeah, that's what we do. Did I miss anything, Marks?
Not at all. The way I'd say it is, energy efficiency is watching how you spend your energy, and renewable energy is watching a clean source of energy. That's it. But you said it quite nicely.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was a great explanation.
So that's what we do.
Yeah, I pretty much know nothing about renewable and sustainable energy, so I was able to learn a lot from that alone. But I guess I want to ask next, like, why is renewable and sustainable energy so important, like specifically in the Philippines? Like, why do you feel like this is something that more companies should be doing here?
That's a good question, and there's like a lot of layers to that, right? So I think like the easiest one is, and it's pretty important now that we're all on lockdown, and everybody is paying these. Everybody's paying like a ridiculous amount for electricity now, especially if you're at home, right? You've moved a lot of your work to home and all that. So if you've ever taken a look at your Meralco bill, or if your parents or your titos are complaining on Facebook and tagging Meralco on posts saying, why is my bill so high? That's really a great reason. Mark's mom actually just did, I think, this morning on our village page. So it's a common thing,
Yeah, Marcus'
all these
mom.
prices are skyrocketing.
Shout out to Marcus' mom.
Yes, shout out Tita Micheline.
My mom.
Yeah, so we actually have like I'm not sure if it's like the first or third highest electricity rates in Asia. It's something ridiculous, but we pay like a ton for our electricity. So not only are we paying, so that's like one thing why it's super important to manage how you're using your electricity, because we're paying so much for it. And on the other hand, we are a pretty coal heavy country. So the country as a whole has a lot of coal power plants, and it's pretty weird because coal is just such an outdated, dead fuel source, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
Everyone around the world they're decommissioning coal plants because it doesn't make sense. Not only does it super pollute everything around you, it's expensive, and it's one of the most expensive forms. Yeah, super, right? Like, you have how many losses before that turns into electricity? Like 80% of what you're burning actually gets lost. It's wild. So, and all that 80% is basically shit that's going into our air, right? So it really doesn't make sense for the Philippines to have like the highest electricity prices. We have we have a ton of coal, and not only that, we're literally 7,000 islands. It makes no sense to have, a couple of large power plants and then a centralized grid system to all these different islands.
Like, just distributing it would be like crazy when islands itself invites solar panels.
Exactly.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
In this country, it's always sunny, so like, why don't we fucking like maximize it, right?
Yeah, and it's just advantageous with the space we've been given. You know what I mean? All the open space, a lot of flat lands. What else, John? I think that's you pretty much summed it up.
Yeah, we have really good sun. I mean, land use is always going to be a bit questionable, right? I mean, whether you're using land for solar, for agriculture, for rewilding, or for like reforestation and all that. But I mean, generally, we have more than enough space for solar. We have a ton of, for example, geothermal, right? Which has been super stagnant in the past 2 decades. So geothermal is another possibility. We haven't even touched wind, and wind is now like elsewhere in the world, offshore wind is literally the cheapest form of energy.
Yeah, what's
Really?
that
Right
country
now,
where
and-
they make double their energy use of electricity already with just the wind? I read that yesterday. Remember that, John?
Oh
I'll Google that
yeah?
right now.
No,
I'll
I
Google that
actually
right
didn't see
now.
that. Yeah, that'd be pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going with your thing. I'll just Google it and interrupt you in the middle. Most wind energy.
Yeah. But yeah, so we there's so much opportunity for the Philippines, and this is all coming at a time like this is literally the perfect time to do everything. Where you have a recession, we're in the middle of a recession. The economy
are.
needs boosting.
Mhm.
The clean energy industry is one of the most job dense industries, so you can create thousands of jobs just by shifting towards clean energy in the Philippines, and it provides a lot of cheaper, more sustainable electricity to people that don't have it. Like 11% of the country doesn't have access to electricity, and this is at
That's a
all
lot.
access,
That's
right?
too
This
much,
is
yeah.
that's way too much, and because I mean, literally everything, development in itself relies on having energy.
Yeah.
You can't better your position in life, right? If you don't even if you can't even refrigerate your food, so that means you have to keep worrying about food every day, every meal of the day. You can't save food for the next day.
Yeah.
That in itself, not being able to study at night, that's crazy, you know. So uh, energy is also super important for trying to bring people out of poverty as well. So I mean, that's generally the reason why we started Verne in the first place. Everything relies on energy, so why not be in the place where you can make the most impact? And for us, that's really sustainable energy.
It really is, yeah. And I've been like, since I've been working with Fund the Forest, we've been like in contact with a bunch of other tribes in the Zambales area, and most of these tribes, like their main issue is like really power. So I mean, when you're
Yeah.
worrying about like you said earlier, preserving your food, you always have to worry about food like every single day. It's kind of hard to focus on other things like academics or figuring out a business and all of that stuff when your basic necessities can't even be provided. Like even water is such a big issue
Yeah.
for like those tribes and stuff. So it's great that you guys are doing this.
Yeah, so hopefully, like the end goal is to bring electricity to all these people that don't have access to it, and there's so many in the Philippines, too many. Like what you said, all like the indigenous peoples, a lot of them don't have access to it. A lot of people that don't live in basically areas that are not financially secure enough for big companies to build giant transmission lines to, right? So that's way too much of the Philippines, and it really makes no sense.
Yeah. Super agree.
Did you find that country, Marks?
I'm still fucking looking, man. I don't want to say I fucking
Nah.
spit fake facts, but now I'm insecure.
Just
I
drop
fold.
it.
I fold.
Well,
Just
drop
drop
it.
a
I
country.
drop-
Just say it.
I'll say Scotland and Ireland because I like redheads. Those are the two. Those are the two that do the 100% renewable energy. That's it.
you heard it from Marco.
Okay.
Reliable as it gets.
Oh, but
Yep.
fun fact, Costa Rica's
Those are facts.
100% on renewable energy. That's kind of cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Costa Rica's doing pretty well for themselves.
Hydroelectric, geothermal, solar, and wind. So they are officially not
Yeah.
polluting anymore, energy-wise. Is that a fair statement to make?
Yep.
It's all renewable.
Yes, it
What a
is.
what a great example. There's
Yeah.
a lot, dude. Nicaragua aims to be
Yeah, that's-
90%. Someday Scotland is able. Scotland, I'm fucking right. I'm a fucking
See?
genius. What?
Don't doubt yourself.
Can't lose, baby. Yeah. On Sunday,
That's why you're in this
Scotland
company, baby.
is able to produce enough wind power to supply over 100% of Scottish households.
Wow,
Sick.
that's so sick. And
Badass
that's
energy.
really such a good example because I mean, like Costa Rica and Nicaragua, they were also like, I don't know if Costa Rica is still a third world country, but I mean, they're third world countries more or less. And
Yeah.
like, if they can do it, we can
Yeah.
fucking do it too.
Exactly.
Yeah. We absolutely can, and we should. It literally is a win-win-win for everyone involved except for those currently in the fossil fuel industry.
Yeah.
So not shouting out to those guys.
Not sure.
Not shout out. Reverse shout out.
Yeah, we're
Exact.
reverse
Whisper
shouting
in,
out.
baby.
That's it.
That's it. All right, so we'll move on to the next segment, which is Paco Brewery live review. But first, Today's episode is brought to you by Paco Brewery. With the sports seasons back in business, there's no better way to catch some games or highlights than kicking back with the boys and enjoying a crisp, ice-cold beer. Paco Brewery is a local craft beer brand that started over the quarantine period. Paco Brewery's goal is to bring restaurant quality craft beer right to your doorstep. They are the exclusive brewers of amazing restaurants like Mati's Resto at Caravan Plaza. Each beer is carefully handcrafted and brewed to ensure maximum quality and consistency. They have a variety of flavors such as the Indian Pale Ale, Saison, which is kinda like a kombucha beer, and English Special Bitter. I was sent a couple of bottles to try out their products, and it's really top quality, crisp beer. I'm a sucker for IPA, and I can honestly say that they nailed the taste down. If you're interested in getting yourself a Paco Brew, details for the beer are available through their Telegram channel at telegram.me/PacoBrewPH. You may also contact them through @HavyLovely on Instagram or text 0917-521-0066. That's 0917-521-0066. Get hammered with Paco Brew now. And we're back. Alright, so in this segment we'll be doing this taste test for the very first time. And the reason why I chose to do this with you guys is because I was listening to one of your pods and you guys said that you always wanted to do some type of food review. But although this ain't food, we got them beers by Paco Brewery, our sponsor for today's show. And
did you make this, bro? Is this all you?
No, I didn't. My friend, a good friend of mine, and a couple of his other bros are starting this local brewery thing. It's still kind of like at a testing period. That's why they sponsored this pod. They want to get other people's opinions as well because they're still kind of tweaking and finalizing the taste. So they got 3 flavors so far: the IPA, Indian Pale Ale, the Saison, which is kind of like a kombucha, and the English Special Bitter. And all 3 of us here, we all got different flavors. I got the IPA, Marco got the Saison, and Johnny got the English Special Bitter. So
yeah, I was gonna say this tastes. I just sipped. It just tastes sour and like lemons. I was like, this is actually fucking sick.
Oh, nice. You like it. And you don't usually like beer, right?
Wow, that's a
Dude,
first.
I fucking hate beer. It tastes like fucking shit, bro. It tastes like bread juice. What the fuck is bread juice, bro? You don't need that. You don't need that in your life. But this genuinely tastes like just like someone squeezed a bunch of lemons in water. And if this gets me fucked, like I'll do it. This is good time.
That's wonderful.
And we know it will. So just for reference, Marco is the world's weakest drinker.
I've never finished a
the
beer.
neck of a beer.
Wow.
I'm at the neck. I'm at the neck right now.
I was about to say
sloppy.
that's the drunk Mark.
I'm feeling sloppy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Marco
it's
might
like-
not make it to the end of this podcast.
Oh no. Or the takes are only gonna get hotter.
Oh, that's it. It's always hot takes with me, boys. But yeah, this tastes like lemons, bro. Like this should be my drink of choice on earth. I'm not even saying this to like, what's it called? Blow smoke up your friend's ass. This is fucking legit. This is lemons and water, and it gets me fucked. This is perfect.
That's wonderful. So what's your usual go-to drink?
This is good for me because it's kombucha. Is this good for me?
I think so. Yeah, I mean kombucha.
No, it's not actual kombucha.
Oh,
kombucha flavor.
Oh, is it actual kombucha?
I have
Is
no
it like
fucking
This is
kombucha
actually
beer?
kombucha. That'd be the most wild thing ever. This is fuck me up kombucha. I've been telling people kombucha has such a strong taste. If you just threw some alcohol or some fuck me up in it, it would hide it so well. If your friend focuses just on the kombucha part, just fucking like a half girly drink, half not. Like you can also put like a health branding whatever on it. He's going to kick fucking ass. And let me in because I came up with this idea.
Alright.
Let me in, bro. I'll brand the whole thing. I'll figure it out.
Royalty fees from Marco. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking eshkere. How do you guys like your beersies?
Johnny, go for it, man.
I've
There's
got
actually-
the
This is actually owned
go.
by Betts and Javi Lopez and Gabo Esguerra. I don't know if you know him. All baseball dudes. So
Yeah, Gabos in my fantasy league.
Hey.
Betts is a big bitch, and Javi's a cool dude.
all right.
Nice.
So we got
I love
the
it.
the owner review as well from Johnny Altamonte.
You know what? You know what this podcast is reminding me of? I just watched a horror movie called Host, and it was all in a fucking Zoom call. Did you guys see that?
Whoa, no, I haven't.
Bro,
Was it good?
bro, and like, bro, you'd think like they are limited to their capacity, like directorially, if that's a word I made up. Sorry, but like, dude, they really maximize the what's it called? Your limited view of like just having a first person, whatever. The fucking with okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but they maximize the use of fucking Zoom, and they actually do it well. It's a fucking 1 hour movie. It's so good.
That's sick.
All right, how
you know when
realistic
you're
is it
watching a
though? Did
movie,
anybody
And
lag?
you know when you're watching a movie, and you're actually kind of like just kind of like looking away because it's that scary. That
It's
was
me all the time.
bro. That was me.
I fucking hate scary
Incredible.
movies.
Incredible, bro.
Me too.
Me
I am the
man.
biggest bitch.
Same.
But I
That's-
feel like
that's
being
right.
in quarantine,
Three bitches right here.
I miss risk. So like I normally hate horror movies too, but now it's all I do is watch them because there's nothing. What else is exciting about my day,
Really?
man? Yeah,
Interesting.
it's all I've been binging. But like yeah, it's a good vibe.
So I guess we're only
Get
two
on it.
bitches, Johnny.
Yeah.
I know,
bitch
just two.
graduation party.
Marcus left the clan. Marks, while we're on the topic of scary movies, you should really check out Coherence. Oh my god, because that's not it's not a scary movie like in the classic horror, like there's
Not
a
jump
ghost or
scary?
murder killer. No, not at all. It's just it's
got
like a
good
Black Mirror
reviews.
episode, but
Oh.
it's monster. It's one of my favorite movies. It's so wild. It's so wild. And the reason I'm plugging this also, my dream last night was literally a Coherence dream, and I was just super tripping on it. It was just.
Bro, I'm
I
reading
can't
the
say
synopsis
anything,
right
'cause
now.
If I say anything,
And
Don't-
I watched
don't
some movie review.
stop.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Also, I already watched a movie review of this. Everyone, it's a good movie. The premise is super unique.
just watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll actually take your word on
Yeah.
that because
It-
you're a bitch too. So if another bitch recommends one, that means I can take it.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
Let's go Coherence.
It's bitch friendly. It's bitch friendly. Like I
That's what I'm talking
cried
about.
trying to watch the Conjuring.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Boy.
Couldn't do it.
I had a hard time
And
with Silence of the
Feng Shui,
Lambs.
that Chris Aquino movie.
Feng Shui.
I haven't watched that, dude. I haven't watched it.
It's pretty good. It's
But
pretty
like Feng
good.
Shui with Chris Aquino, that fucked me up, man. Fucked me up. But
Actually,
Coherence,
yeah.
definitely give it a.
Filipino
so-
scary movies are actually pretty fucking scary, dude. Like they know what they're doing.
Oh god, I'm turning red, boys. I gotta calm myself down.
I see it.
Oh my god.
see
All right, back to the topic.
I'm
Johnny,
actually- oh.
how's your beer? Sorry, we're getting so off topic.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, no, it's fine. I thought it would actually be darker, like a stout, like a Guinness kind of thing. But it
Mhm.
is pretty light. Like, I'll be real. When it comes to like beer reviews, this is not going to be a beer review where I'm gonna say it's got a hint of walnut and a dash of cranberries.
I don't think we're at that level.
Dude, I swear to God, people who say that stuff about like whiskey and shit, they're all liars. They're all straight up liars. That shit doesn't exist. But the beer's good. It's refreshing, and this is my first alcoholic drink since April, so I'm also probably gonna get drunk off.
Oh, wow.
That's yeah. That's how it is. Me and Mark are not making it through this podcast. We're gonna pass out in like 30.
All right.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's okay.
It's
I'm
good.
excited
It's
for the
good. What
takes.
about yours? How's the
I'm
IPA?
I'm enjoying mine. I love IPA. I'm a sucker for it. It's kind of like for any of you guys have tried Hoegaarden, it's kind of like that, but a
Yeah.
little bit like fruity, and
Yeah.
it's delicious. It's crisp. It's cold. It's wonderful. All right.
Chris,
Yeah.
is that a real word to define beer and stuff? Because I'm just talking out of my ass. Like I just like it. It's like sour candy.
I like to
You know
think
what?
crisp is a right word.
Yes,
adjective.
it sounds correct. It sounds correct. Like, did you guys ever put
Yeah,
your
yeah.
warheads in water before you drank them?
Oh
Because,
yeah.
What
because it
in
was
the
too
I've done that
sour.
once.
kind of monster?
Yeah, just
What?
Because you have to like
Once.
there are levels to this, bro. Like the green, what's the weakest warhead? The yellow one, right? Like am I remembering it wrong? And the crazy shit one's the black one, and you just don't fuck with that, bro. Yeah, so you have to lessen its intensity in water if you want to just enjoy your day.
Well, I wouldn't put it in water
I
to
love
lessen the
warheads.
intensity. I would just do it because I like cold candy. and it was like pleasant in the mouth,
That's-
and it's sour. Cause I'm meta like that.
Those are those are strange takes on
Technically,
warheads.
because me and Roque over here do it, we outnumber you, and Justin is a silent observer. So, you're the weird one.
We'll take his
true.
silence as a joiner.
Yeah,
joiner.
exactly.
Fucking
Us
kind of word is
versus
that?
you, Johnny. Yeah.
All right.
We
no,
all
you
like
got
our
me.
beers?
Numbers are on
Again.
your side on this one.
Again, seriously, this is good vibes. Someone sign me up for this shit.
Yeah.
Alright. So happy
You know what you should
Gabo?
actually like? I tried in a brewery in LA. They have beers called sours. It literally
yeah.
tastes like sour candy, like a sweet sour candy. Oh, it's so good. Like I had a watermelon sour. It tasted like a watermelon sour candy in a beer. It was nuts. You would probably love that, Marks. And it actually sounds like what you're describing now. I've never had it in the Philippines, so I actually would be pretty G to try that one, the one you're having right now.
Okay, I mean, like I'm G to try. I drank a beer today, a new beer. Like I'll try something else new, but make my days count, baby.
Don't count the days, make the days count. Alright, so let's move on to the next segment, which is where we'll talk a little bit about the podcast that you guys host, which is Scrapyard. But first, today's episode is brought to you by Tapebuds Video Transfer. Save your memories today before it's too late. Videotapes have a 20-year lifespan, and they're getting more difficult to play each year due to the lack of available VCRs on the market. Tapebud Video Transfers converts your precious videos on analog videotape to a modern, digital MP4 format that can be played on modern devices. Think of them as a film developing lab, but for analog videotapes. Rates are just 600 pesos per tape or 2,500 pesos for 5 tapes. They have transferred over 500 tapes since the start of the ECQ and have had more than 20 clients since March. Tapebuds Video Transfer is a subsidiary of DLC Productions, so shout out to my boy Will DLC. To contact Tapebuds Video Transfer, visit Tapebuds Video Transfer on Facebook to learn more. Save your precious memories today with Tapebuds Video Transfer. So we're back. So obviously you two are the hosts of the Scrapyard podcast, and I want to start off by asking you guys, how did the Scrapyard come to be?
Johnny, you got this. Go crazy.
So we have I just remember that we went on to No One's Homies, the podcast, so we guested for their podcast, but it's something I've been kind of interested in, like even before that. But so we came in, two of us, we did the podcast, and it was honestly just one of the most fun things we ever did. It was just literally us talking into a microphone for like what is it, like an hour and a half or something, and it was just a blast. And we're just like, shit, we could probably do this too. It's just something fun to do. And it was a pretty, I mean, all we really did with the Scrapyard, and I'm saying did in the past tense because we've been on hiatus for essentially this entire lockdown, was find someone interesting to talk to and talk for an hour. That's fun.
It's
and then
fun.
people listen to
It's
it.
great.
And, you know, some of them enjoyed it. Yeah, so I mean, that's literally how we started, and yeah, it's pretty sick. It's been a pretty fun ride, and honestly, like coming back onto your podcast and seeing the work you've been doing, sick logo, sick trailers, all that shit. It's like, you know, maybe it's time to bring the Scrapyard back. What do you think, Mark?
I think let's fucking do it, bro. Especially because we now know how this online podcasting works. It's viable. I just didn't understand how it could work like, just being online. But I guess if you have infographics like this, you can just kind of smooth through it, eh?
Yeah, it's actually very
that's
viable.
true.
Zoom makes it really easy for you to like download the files and all that stuff. But you guys were doing like live recordings, and there's still that element that's lacking in the online recordings of the pods because first of all, there's that delay which is so fucking annoying. It's like somebody's
Right.
talking
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you have a point and then like it kind of comes at the same time. So that's always a challenge. But it's very viable. I think you guys should hop back on it. And the Philippines is kind of going on this podcast train, so why not keep your Scrapyard alive?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
right, man. Like I still get followers and like comments from our Instagram page, even though we haven't posted shit in months. Like I mean, that does say a little bit of something.
That's true. And our views, we still get we get a couple. We get a couple of
A
listens every
couple.
month.
I'll
So,
fucking take it. Well, that's because our quality is just so fucking transcendent. Have you
It
seen
is.
our
Oh my
episode
God.
with Hunk Hands, bro?
Yeah, I did.
Marcus'
It's
favorite
the work.
episode.
I don't know how we could do better. That's why we stopped. I was like, what? Who else do we have next? No one will ever match up to this guy.
Dude, that was hilarious, man. And your equipment, like the sound quality is amazing. So easy to listen. And it's just a fucking good time. So
Thanks,
why
man.
not
That's
continue
credit to Johnny, man. Johnny is a good person to work with in the sense that he'll do that research and figure out the technical stuff. Like, I think I was the one editing the videos the first like month and a half, and it would take me an hour, and then he figured out some software. It takes him like 5 minutes, or either he's not meticulous and he doesn't care, or he's just that fucking good at it. I haven't decided yet.
I'm a genius. I'm the world's greatest sound
Like you
master.
go down to the mega ultra millisecond when you align voices. So I guess you don't have to fucking like I don't know, like you can spare a few fucking milliseconds. Like it's not gonna do much of a difference anyway.
It really won't, dude.
Yeah, no one's gonna
Right?
know.
Yeah, how can they tell, man? They're too focused listening to the genius advice of a squirting genius. Genius, bro.
Squirting genius. That's what
Bro,
that is
laugh
the
all
truth.
you want, man. Like, what was even awesomer was when he came over and taught us stuff. He just taught us what Johnny already taught me anyway. Like, I already knew all that shit. Except the one thing he said. Remember? And then, what's it called?
Yeah.
But the one thing he did teach us was grapeseed oil and more of the mental gymnastics you have to be like, you know what I mean? Like, Johnny was the technical coach. Like, if you
Yeah.
ever played, if you play basketball, right? He's the technical coach that teaches you how to like, proper jump shot form this,
Yeah.
proper like
The
dribble that.
mechanics
And then
guy,
there's
the stats
the mechanics
dude.
guy. And then there's the other guy who tells you the Mamba mentality, rip, rest in peace. You know, like you have to believe.
The heart
She
and
wants-
soul.
She believes it, man. Imagine she's a water type Pokemon and surf is all she knows. God, surf. Occasional bubble beam, surf. Disgusting.
That's a good analogy.
Thanks, man. I'm all about analogies and talking shit.
What about
That is true. And that was a great episode.
It
We need to
was.
find a. Well, you know what? We'll do a reverse podcast where Rock is a guest for the Scrapyard.
I would love
Alright.
it. That'd be
That
fun.
sounds fucking good.
Double,
I'm not-
double podcast surprise.
I don't know how to live up though
Yeah.
to the wrestling dude and the BDS. I mean, those is
That
that's
guy
a high
was
bar to
hilarious.
reach, man.
That guy
That's a
was
high bar to
fucking
reach.
hilarious. Man, I love that guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a good time. That was a
so
good time.
funny. That was so funny. Like one of the things that I love about podcasts is that like I think I was listening to that while commuting on the P2P. My God, I just looked like a fucking idiot laughing in the P2P, and then the girl beside me was kind of just like looking over at me already because it's like I was wearing like pods, so she didn't even like see that there was like
Yeah, yeah.
headphones. And you see this guy just like laughing, staring at the window, and I mean that's why I fucking love podcasts. It makes you feel like you're part of the conversation as well, and you get to learn a
That's so
couple
nice,
of things.
Yeah.
man. That's literally that was our goal the whole time. Like just get an
Yeah,
interesting
straight up.
conversation. If someone says exactly what you said, our job's fucking done. Thanks so much, man. Made my day.
Of
That was
course,
sick.
bro.
Yeah,
I
same
mean,
here. Same here.
I'm just building off you guys too. So I guess with that, I wanted to ask you guys like, what's your favorite thing about podcasts? Like either consuming it or creating it or like anything in the podcast world. What do you guys like the most?
I'll hit it, bro. The quality of the conversation. You are literally setting up a social system for yourself to meet people you wouldn't normally have conversations with. Really focus on different topics, get different points of view. Dude, it's literally just good for you. Like, even if no one fucking watched, you would have, like, okay, let's say me and Johnny have a podcast, and close to no one watches anyway, so it's easy to do this. Let's say 0 people watch. Me and Johnny personally can say, oh, we met this person, he told us about his life, he got a new perspective on X, Y, and Z. and then our fucking view on life got enriched from it. And if you do, because we're doing it on a regular basis, let's say once a week, you'll have 52 different either new friends, ideas, conversations, plans of action. You know, I don't know, whatever the fuck you get from podcasts, whether it be inspirational shit or something else. I'm getting so fucked up from this. But like, yeah, it's so good. It's so good for you on a personal, social, spiritual level. Like I don't know. I also just love talking to people in general. Like if I didn't have a podcast, I'd talk to whoever's next to me on the street. If like or if I was smoking by myself, I'd go beside someone and then be like, hey, what's going on? What's cracking? How about you, John?
Honestly, same thing. Like at first, a little bit was well. For one, it's just so much fun to have, right? Like I think a lot of what Marcus said was true. You're forced to try and get as much value out of a conversation because you have like a time limit, right? You have 1 hour to discuss and to try and learn about each other as much as you can. So, I think the conversations you tend to have while on a podcast tend to be naturally richer. So that in itself is just super rewarding. Like initially, a lot of what we wanted to do is we also wanted to kind of monetize the Scrapyard, right? Trying to get some ad rev in, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so we bought a lot of equipment and all that. But I mean, I think we basically got a return just having a fucking blast for each episode, and it was just so much fun. Like, and I mean, if you make one new friend, that's already worth it. And for example, like a bunch of the people I met, I have a couple of new friends, right? Like Kyler, Kadir, all those guys. People I never met before, and I did. I mean, and they're good dudes. You know?
Exactly.
They're good people. Even Hunk Hands.
Hunk Hands was an incredibly nice fucking person, bro. Part of me was hoping he was kind of a dick, but he was just so fucking nice, bro.
He was the nicest dude.
He was the nicest dude in the history of any podcast ever, bro. He was sweet and polite and mild-mannered and very fucking...
And respectful.
I loved him. I loved him, bro. Whenever he comes back to the Philippines, I hope he hits us up. Shout out to Hunk Hands. Fucking love you still,
Shout out
bro.
to Hunk Hands. And he put out great content. That guy was fucking hilarious, man.
That guy was fucking a beast,
And
bro.
your chemistry just like it glued like since the start of the pod. Like same wavelength since the moment you guys hit record. But yeah, I completely agree with you guys. I think when you're doing a podcast, it's kind of you're forced to be focused in on the conversation and what the people are talking about. And that's something that we take for granted nowadays, with this fast-paced life of like smartphones. Everybody's checking their phone every once in a while, or like nowadays everybody's kind of multitasking in a way. When you're doing a podcast, you're forced to be engaged in the conversation, and it's great how much you can learn from the people that you have on. And even if you're not involved in the podcast per se, like if you're not the host, if you're not the guest, you could still learn like so many things just by listening. I mean, technically, this is like the first time we're really talking, Marco. But
my man.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers, bro. But I listened to your other podcast, and it's like I feel like I already know you. That's just absolutely crazy without even having a conversation, and it's just crazy. And even with you, Johnny. I mean, we've talked a lot the month before, but definitely not this long, like straight on.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
New friends.
New friends.
Yeah, right.
Quarantine crew.
Mark is getting killing.
Yeah, it's the blush and
he's also
severe
so red.
alcohol allergy, bro. It's severe. And I'm only like I told you in the neck.
Goddamn.
That's where I'm at, bro.
For those who are seeing the video file, you can check out Marco's bottle. He's not lying. It's legit.
I'm not lying.
Less
This
than
is all
half.
I had. Yeah, it's like I swear, it's like a party trick. I'll tell someone this, they won't believe me. I'll have to make eye contact with a friend and be like, "You're taking me home, right?" Like, yeah, I gotta show this fool what science is really about. Then I pass out. I always pass out somewhere. I'll probably pass out after this.
Yeah, and not to mention that
literally
it's a
happened
Wednesday.
last time we were out.
How about you, buddy? What made you want to start a podcast? Do you have any highlights you want to share? Like, I mean, everyone's podcast journey is a little different. Like,
Well,
that.
For me, I started like listening to podcasts like maybe back in 2017. I was an athlete too. No, not even Joe Rogan. Not even Joe Rogan yet.
Best.
Yeah, but he is the fucking best.
He is the best.
Yeah, he's like the pinnacle of podcasting. But yeah, I started off listening to sports podcasts because I was an athlete. Wanted to know the updates with my teams and like the little intrinsic stuff that you don't normally hear. And then I started moving into like self-help and then everything like animals, wildlife, science, TED Talk, all of that stuff. And I've always wanted to start one, but then I guess I never really had a reason to start. And then once the quarantine hit, I'm just like, fuck, no more excuses. Let's just fucking go. And
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It's always nice to
Awesome.
be part of the podcast family, man. Cheers.
cheers. It's great to have you guys on.
Okay, how about this? How about this? Because
Okay.
when me and Johnny started, we were saying, "What's the pinnacle that we want?" I said porn star, and we got it off the bat. That's why I don't know what else to do, right, John? Day one, I said, if we got a
Yeah,
real
you said
porn
that.
star here, I'd be fucking. We're done with. I'm done. I've achieved that. If you had a pinnacle of like a guest that you'd want on your podcast, who would you get? You know what I mean? If you could just any
Anyone.
category of person, a particular person, if you want to be extra specific, anything.
Can I choose more than one?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
of
yeah,
course,
go
go for
please.
it.
All right.
Spice today up.
Dope. Well, my first pick would definitely be the real Tarzan. Do you guys know him? Mike Holston?
Jason Momoa.
No. That's the real Aquaman, man. I mean,
Sorry.
that's The real Tarzan, Mike
Who's
Holston.
this guy?
He's
Mike
like
Olson.
he's this guy from Florida. He's just like an animal enthusiast, and he's just so cool. He's super trending in social media, and he's just an
He's
animal.
a zoologist. He's a zoologist.
No, not even. He's just an animal enthusiast. Like he's just a cool dude. Yeah, he's a cool
Like
African
Steve
American
Irwin?
dude. Not like,
Like-
yeah, maybe yeah.
But
maybe,
does,
yeah.
does he
That would be
pet the
close.
animals? Does he teach them something? Does he just talk about them?
Yeah, no, he owns a lot of animals. He travels the world
Sick.
and like interacts with them.
Sick,
And it's
sick.
just super sick. But yeah, that would be like maybe one of my choices. And maybe another one would be Mo Twister. Do you guys know Mo Twister from
Oh
Magic?
yeah, dude. He's like
Yeah.
he's a classic. I used to listen to him when I was in
Yeah,
grade school.
same.
going
Yeah,
to
on the way to
school.
school, diba? Yeah, and then like he's kind of like I guess what got me into like the whole media audio like sphere thing, and he has a podcast now, and it's pretty much like the same type of shit that he was putting
Literally,
out, like-
does he have background fucking noises like when he makes a joke? You have
No, no.
Pinoy's do that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
the
The
fucking
laugh
worst.
tracks.
The baby
I
laugh.
hate that
Fucking,
shit.
that's the worst.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
Oh.
Good for him. He transcended it.
And the
Good for
DJ
him.
horn. Yeah, no, I hate that
Okay,
shit.
but there's always a good time to go. That's the one. That's the one
Yeah, no,
exception.
we do it.
Yeah.
We do it in real life. Yeah, let's be honest. It's a great time.
It's a great time.
But if you overdo it,
Ah, wala
Yeah.
na, dude. Wala na, dude.
Or like
Oversold that joke.
the paano mo bang i-memorize yan? All that shit.
Ah, yeah. Oh
oh
my.
yuck.
I hate that,
I
man.
hate that shit.
Oh my god.
It's a no for me, dog.
Instant bad vibes. Instant piss in your
Yeah,
bottle
yeah.
and drink it. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
That's a bad vibe, bro. That's a bad, yeah.
Yeah, piss in the
Whoa.
bottle. I don't know, man. I don't know who gets good vibes.
Dude, Manila traffic, man. Everyone's had to do it at least once. Don't lie. Everyone here, don't lie.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's done
No,
it.
no.
You're in
I've
traffic
never.
from anywhere to Alabang. Sometimes it's 3 hours. Yeah, dude. I've done it multiple
Dude,
times.
I know. Remember when you went to Zambales? You literally did 3 bottles. Same car ride.
Was it straight?
Fucking
Or
monster.
Was it different bottles or was it the same? Why am
different
I asking
bottles? Different. yeah.
This? Why is this important?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that was
You know what?
good.
Maybe it was the same bottle. No, that's
It
kind
might
of
have
gross.
been.
if it
Where I
was
was like,
I don't know. You do that.
I don't know.
Yeah. I remember.
Life's a party,
No, I
man.
remember you chucking a bottle into someone's house. Yeah. All right.
Alright,
Anyway.
that's it. That was it.
Bottle of piss into somebody's house.
Yeah.
No. It was in the side of the road. Don't make me out to be a bad guy. No one has to know. No one has
It
to
was-
know.
Sometimes.
No. I threw it at a terrorist, specifically a terrorist,
Oh,
like
alright.
and a racist.
Yeah,
Like,
he was a
we could
terrorist.
say-
No, the racists were really nice to us. Remember?
I remember that. You want to tell that story? That was
Oh
a
yeah, I want to know about
fucking
this.
mind. That was a mind-bending malabo. ass
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, so a little segue. So we went on a trip to Zambales, and on the way there, we crashed, almost died. Did we talk about that in our Close Calls podcast?
I think you talked about
Yes,
it
we
in,
did.
also in the No One's Homies podcast as well. I think
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so-
Yes, we did.
but then-
That was
we
like our
spun
big
out-
story for the
yeah.
time.
Explain it to
Yeah.
the listeners.
So we basically were going like 40 kph, not fast, and
Not
the
even
road was so
fast, yeah.
garbage. Yeah, the road was just so bad. We
Yeah,
spun
okay.
out and
It had
crashed into
just
a wall.
recently rained. We hydroplaned where you kind of keep going on the road even though you're not pressing the gas or turning in anything. You're just riding on a thin layer of water over the street. We smash into the wall of like a fucking hotel, and the car gets destroyed. Me and Johnny are relatively unharmed. And while we were crashing, Johnny grabbed my shoulder to hold on and to make sure I was okay. And I looked at him like this. If we die, we die. You know, like, this is the end, bro. Like, I'm
Yeah,
at
that was the
peace. I'm
face.
at peace
That was
with
the
my
face.
maker. Yeah.
Ride or
What are
die,
we gonna
baby.
do? Like, this is it, baby. And then like the policeman tried to extort money from us, but Johnny called in called in a favor from someone he knew from the police. And then we were working with it was just a fucking crazy trip. We were working in this mine, and we were hearing about all these scandals here and there, internally and externally, government wise. So we were like, this is fucking bad vibes too. And then on our way home, someone fucking planted a metal spike on the street so that
Oh,
they can make
no.
instant. Yeah, I know, right? It's one of those things where you're
Yeah,
like,
they do
"God
that
damn
here
it."
a lot.
Yeah, god damn it, Philippines. You're like, guys, come on, why are we doing this to each other? Anyway, so like instantly, like we had to get our car fixed. They tried to charge us like $2,000 to have it vulcanized. Like, have you
God damn,
ever
that's
heard
so
of such bullshit?
expensive.
Have you
The
ever heard of
fuck?
that bullshit before? Have you ever heard of 2,000 pesos vulcanizing? For reference to everyone, it should be like what, $400?
Yeah, $400,
I don't fucking know. Anyway, so we because our car's fucked, we end up going to a restaurant that is the most fucking right-wing American racist place ever in fucking Subic. Subic, right, John? Is it
Yeah.
Subic? Yeah.
Yeah,
A
that's
bunch
it.
of white dudes
Yeah,
and their
Subic.
bikes and their
It
jackets.
was a bunch of white guys, old retired Americans with a bunch of Pinay young girls, which whatever, good for them, live your life. And they had all these posters of Trump, like fingering Hillary, and there was
Oh my
other
God.
propaganda, but like I have reserved the right to be as xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, all this shit, and you're like, holy fuck, like we're in like a alt right wing place. But funny enough, even with all the propaganda and all their negative beliefs, they were the nicest people to us the entire fucking trip. They gave us free dessert. They asked us where we were from. They called us handsome. It was really fucking. It was really fucking nice. You know, it's just, I don't know. Again, mind bending, because it's I don't know. It's I don't know, part of the human experience, I guess. Like we super don't agree with their politics, but they were really fucking nice to us. So and we were nice to them. So I don't know how this works. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and that's the crazy part, because I mean, I guess especially in Philippine culture, we tend to judge a lot of people by their
Absolutely.
external appearance, and you never know what type of person that person might actually be. Like, I was listening to one of your podcasts. I forgot which one it was. Maybe it was the one about with Tinder and stuff, and then you were talking
Nice.
about the one with the daughter who is like half Filipino, half like white. I forgot what nationality it was, but half Filipino, half white. And then whenever she walks with her dad, it's like the amount of stares that they get is like so bad. And I mean, like,
yeah.
it's crazy. And then you were talking about the white guy that you met on the plane, and then how he
Oh,
fell in
dude,
love.
I
with that
love
girl.
that fucking story. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. That's some life changing, rethink what you know about life shit.
Yeah,
God bless that guy.
You really shouldn't judge people like based on their external appearance, because you never know, they might be
And that
nice
circles
person.
back to the podcasting thing. Once you meet more people, you see more points of view, it becomes really hard to be judgmental, because you'll always have some sort of acquaintance or a friend in a situation that's being scrutinized at the moment. So you'll learn to sympathize instead of, what's it called? Like, draw lines in the sand and call them a dickhead.
Exactly.
Makes you a nicer person.
Yeah, that whole cancel culture on Twitter, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like for the rest of our lives, now me and Johnny, whenever we remember ultra alt-right people who are really intense about their beliefs, you'll also remember this guy and his young Filipino
Called me
wife
handsome.
who was called you handsome, who was really nice, listened to us about our problems, gave us dessert. Like, yes, we don't agree at all politically, but he was so nice. Like, what can we do? Do they respect it? Respect his beliefs? Leave him alone? Like, I don't know. That's a moral question. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. And that's what's great about pods as well, because especially now in these quarantine times, you're pretty much stuck with your family all the time, and you're stuck with like the same types of people with opinions and the same type of, it's your family. You know who they are, you know what they stand for. But by listening to podcasts, you get that social exposure that you don't normally get from, you don't get it anymore because you're stuck at home.
Hey,
Yeah, that's true.
100%. I'm
All
back,
right.
boys.
That was synchronous. I love that. 100%. All right. So, on to the last segment of the show. It's a new part of the show, and it's called "What is your why?"
Why?
What do you mean why? 'Cause you can't.
So, why do you do the things you do every day? What keeps you motivated? What is your reason to be? Any of you boys can answer first.
I love that.
Ooh, Marco, you
That
wanna
is
go ahead on me?
intense. What is your why? Well, what's it called? I've traveled a lot, lived in a lot of countries. Lived in Australia for 5 years. Lived in Bangkok for like 2 months. I like moving around. I like meeting people. And I've come to the decision that everyone is put on Earth for the sole purpose of helping, making each other's lives better. That's it. Quote Community. You guys watch Community?
Oh
You watch
yeah.
Community?
Best show ever.
Yeah, yeah,
Best show
yeah.
ever.
That was like one of his closing lines, right? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what the meaning of community is, and I completely 100% agree. What more universally good thing is, hey, it's nice to help others versus and versus it's wrong to only help yourself. You know what I mean? Right? So why I do things is 'cause, we're all here, we're all trying to do our best. We're all trying to make it through this crazy world of life. So why not give each other a couple of laughs, give each other good advice. Be a comforting shoulder once in a while, and just play nice. You know what I mean? At least more often than not. Like we're all people, right? We're all forming and developing. I'm not saying be perfect. I'm just saying do your best, be nice, and have lots of fun and stories while you do it.
That's great, man. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, that was good.
That's great.
Tough to beat that
Thanks,
act.
man.
I
I've
think
been drinking, bro.
I know.
This is tipsy shit. Oh.
I'll be real. I finished my beer. I am getting a little bit tipsy too. But
Yeah,
think generally,
the boys.
right? Yeah, haven't touched alcohol in months, baby. That tolerance is nothing. But I think generally along the same lines as Marco. I think that's the reason we're in Verne, right? I think everybody needs to find just whatever it is they want to do, and that really should try to be some sort of positive force on whether it's one other person, whether it's 10 other people, whether it's a whole community, whether it's the whole world, just trying to find the point where you could do the most good. And that's really why I wanted to move into energy. That's where I thought I could do, me personally, the most good and influence the most amount of people and change the most amount of lives. That's really why I do anything. It's really corny and like lofty to say, but I really do want to change the world, and that's really what keeps me going, what keeps me doing the things I do.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's
I
wonderful.
mean, when you think
guys.
about it, humanity is this never-ending collection of knowledge and like growth and like because every generation that passes by, people are adding new shit. We are this never-ending organism of learning and growing and developing, right? Like that's how cities and like cities. If you watch the world in like a time skip of like every like 10 years, you'll see buildings go up and more often some will come down, but like more and more people will develop and come together, and we're just like this giant melting pot of like existence and shit. And through that we'll just keep on contributing to each other's stuff, whether it be smaller, super massive, huge.
Yeah, I completely agree with both of your points. Especially, I feel like you need to find that passion of yours that can be emitted in such a way that it helps other people, so that you're doing things that's both selfish and unselfish at the same time. So you're doing something selfish for yourself because you love the things that you're doing and you're doing the things that you love, and at the same time it's unselfish by providing work that can help other people in a day-to-day basis, which I think is super valuable. All right, so with that, I guess I just want to wrap up the pod by saying thank you again for being on the show. Honestly, had so much fun talking with you guys and learning a lot about, sustainable energy and all that stuff.
Excellent photo.
That's my man. That's why you guys got a guy too. That's how I feel.
Yeah, we should.
Overflowing
Bro,
with
thank you so
things.
much, man.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. It was fucking fun talking to you, and it reinvigorated like the having podcasts, man. This is fucking sick.
Yeah, you guys should do it
Yeah,
again.
honestly,
All
you're
right,
probably the force that is gonna kick this scrapyard back in action. Man.
let's
So,
fucking do it. Let's get scrappy again, boys. All right,
fuck
but
yes.
I guess before we end the show, as usual, I let my guests plug in where people can find them. So now would be a perfect time for you guys to plug in where they can find you.
It's time to pull the plug.
All right, Johnny, go
All right,
for
go,
it. I'll
Marks.
come next. I'm focusing.
All right.
I'm focusing on.
All right, you're focusing. My plugs. You can follow my plant account, Greens and Memes. I think that's what else am I on? Instagram at the Johnny Altamonte is just my name. Twitter at the Johnny Shark. If you want professional energy
Nice.
content, you can follow me on LinkedIn. Where I honestly that's probably my biggest following right now on LinkedIn. So if you feel like energy shit, follow me there. But I think that's it. You can follow the Scrapyard. We're on Instagram, scrapyard.ph. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Oof, we were doing pretty well, man.
You guys
Follow us
Hey.
everywhere. But I think that's it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. If you want to follow me, meet me anywhere. I'm on Instagram. It's at Marquaqua. It's spelled Marco, then an A, then a C, then an O, then A again. Me and Johnny also work for what's it called? We own a business website, so check that out. It's called negociante.org, and it
Hey.
focuses on national business news in the Philippines. That's what we've been doing during quarantine, which has been fun. I've been enjoying that. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, you're always reading the news and shit. So follow at Negociante at Instagram, on Facebook. We got one of those too. On Twitter. What else? Yeah, I think follow the Scrapyard because now I want to do it again. Sounds like fun, baby.
Hey, so new apps coming out soon. I'm glad to have
And again,
sparked
thank you
this
so
with
much for
guys.
having us, man. Good vibes. Good
Of
day.
course, bro.
Yeah, dude, this is so much fun. It was a good
Yeah.
time. This
I
made
don't
my
know.
week.
Oh, I'm so good. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being on the show. Had a blast with y'all. If you guys want, more knowledge on sustainable and renewable energy, you could also contact them at Verne. Where can they find you, I guess, for Verne?
Oh, our website will be up this week. Verne.solutions.
Hey.
Oh, we got Dot Solutions. That's pretty badass. I rate it.
Yeah, it's cool, right? No one else has it,
Yeah,
so
Dot
it's new.
Solutions. Oof.
That's a solid A
Let's
plus.
fix your problems 1 megawatt at a time. That's
Hey.
kind of huge, though. We'll figure it out.
Tagline. I love it.
That's big. Maybe a kilowatt. Let's start with a kilowatt.
Hey.
All right. So with that, I would like to thank you all for listening to another episode of the Rock as Modern Life podcast, and I will see you all soon. Peace.